We had basically 2 days to rehearse with the kids, and I think that they actually came to a place where they are excited about it. They've opened up and started to say, hey, this is a little bit interesting. I want to explore and try something new. There will be at least, 100 to 200 people. I think they're a little bit nervous and a little bit excited.
My name is Jody Karam, and we're from an organization called Poorest. We're going to be performing for you, and our participants are also going to be
Marks, Mississippi is known nationally for the Poor People's Campaign, a place where Dr. Martin Luther King came and visited. But on another scale, it's known for its hospitality. Marks is a very warm, hospitable town. Everybody knows everybody else. And I think when there's a crisis, the community comes together and support each other. At the time that Dr. King came to Marks, there was a lot of social injustice being experienced. And he was speaking at a local church. And I think delegation wanted to give him a tour of Marks, and they took him to Cotton Street. And it was really one of the most impoverished areas of Marks. What he saw drew him to tears. He saw abject poverty. He saw homes where you could see dirt floors. He saw daycares where the caretaker would take one apple and split it between multiple children. Just pervasive poverty, and he was moved to tears at what he saw and the economic, social injustices. And so this moved him to go back to Washington to try and draw attention to the poverty that he had seen.
I know I put it in here.
Seems strange. Let dreamers dream.
So Opera for Earth was started because music communicates to everyone. So we want to use music and art to help to inspire the audience, help to inspire the kids, and so that they can be on their journey to find their purpose. The community at Quitman County Middle School has no arts, they have no music.
That's the reason why Opera for Earth has come. We're just starting somewhere. We're starting at the middle school. And we hope from this experience that it will expand to the high school as well as elementary school.
We got 4 days. They're going to start with music. They're going to learn some vocal technique, some breathing. We're going to teach them harmonization, repertoire, and we're going to prepare them to perform in front of an audience. So I'm hoping that by teaching these kids music, teaching them art, their hearts will be open and they will be able to discover the true purpose of why they're put on the earth.
There's a lot of inequity in rural areas, not just Quitman County, but in a lot of rural areas. We're expected to perform on the same level as an affluent district, but we don't have the same resources. Living in the Delta had kind of gotten a bad name that our students were underachievers. No matter what, they were only going to reach a certain level of success. And I wanted to change that trajectory. So we started out with some pretty aggressive goals, and one was to improve academic achievement for all students. I think that music helps students' analytical skills, their critical thinking skills. They total emotions and passion and expressions through music. They know R&B, they know pop, they know rap, but just introducing them to something that was culturally different, to just a piece of maybe New York City, Broadway. A lot of what our students don't have is access to opportunities. Many of them had never left Quitman County. So I just saw Opera for Earth as a great opportunity to expose them to something different, something non-traditional. I met Jody through a mutual friend at a birthday party, and after listening to her do a couple of numbers, and I was sharing with her that even as an adult, and I'm 63 years old, I had never gone to an opera, and I was sharing with her how unexposed our students are to that kind of culture. And that was the end of the conversation, but several months later, Jody contacted me along with Arnetta, and they proposed the Opera for Earth project. And of course, I was very interested in exposing our students to that genre of music.
So the superintendent, Dr. Evelyn Jossel, had told me that we might get around 20. We had hoped for about 50. And I got the list, and there's like 67 kids on this list. So I was like, oh my God. It's really gonna be a situation where we meet the kids and we get to know them a little bit and find out what makes them tick, and we go in that direction. This hopefully will inspire the Board of Ed to get an art program, get a music program, find the teachers that will teach, find the funding. I have to be honest and say, they don't have music because it's not a priority. So make it a priority.
And I've been wanting to do an arts program for the Quitman County students for a very long time. This would be the first time in history we have a art festival geared strictly toward students.
So every year my students ask me, why is art important? Why do we do this? And art doesn't matter, all that kind of stuff. But every year what I tell them is art is an impact in your entire life. It goes way beyond education, way beyond anything. Our entire foundation as humans is just evolutionized by the art that we do and create. All of this stuff they think is garbage. Everything we have, boxes, plastic, and they're trying to throw it away as we're doing the art with it. And so just getting them to see that you can take nothing and turn it into something, that's been my primary goal. And it's just so important that that keeps on going forward, that these kids see that they can take something that they think has no value and spruce it up and do something with it in their world.
Okay, let's do it again. Ready, and
To where we go.
now on hover, you hold that for 3 beats. Hover. Do that. Ready, and hover. Yeah, you're good. So today was interesting because the kids were experiencing a new art form that they had never heard before, and they had to, I had to like gain their trust. I had to show them a little bit of vocal technique, which they were doing really well with. And then they got to kind of experience singing in a new way. So Niccolo Wells is the pianist. He is actually originally from Italy, and I chose him because he's an amazing musician. He's good with people. The class he has, they love him. They're asking him, how do I say this in Italian? And he's teaching them some Italian words and things like that.
Svegliati.
He's a wonderful person, and he loves to teach.
I believe in what we do and the power of what we do. When you do it well, everybody responds from whatever background, cultural background, that there's something that's very natural and human in singing or making music.
And Arnetta is an anchor in this community. She works in social services in this community. She's worked with these kids and Marks and throughout Quitman County. Not only she has a beautiful voice, but she knows the community and she's a leader in the community. And I feel so fortunate to have her on our team.
We're bringing theater and art to them instead of them having to be challenged and to get to theater locations and things of that nature. So I'm hoping that out of all of this, the superintendent will be persuaded to have more art in the schools.
Singing just throughout the world, but using the technique. So instead of when I, instead of doing, they connect them. When I go, so make it a little bit smoother if you can. Okay, guys. Okay. And ready, guys? And go.
Simon Lee, he is a beautiful tenor, and I wanted to work with him because he's not only talented, he's also a teacher. He's building a studio in Chicago, and he has amazing technique. So I think he can really lend to teaching the kids actually how to sing.
Without music, it will be very like a desert, you know. For listen to the music, it will help your emotions grow and settle down, help your mindset. So hopefully, the music listening is in their life, like as a habit. I hope they can bring this habit with their life.
Thomas is, he's a kind of person, he loves every aspect of music. He knows every single part. If you're singing an ensemble, he will be able to sing every person's part. He's an amazing musician, and he's a wonderful colleague. He will jump in and help people out at any minute, and he's very flexible.
Last one picked, an unathletic. Last one picked, at sports I was pathetic. Other kids could tumble and run, but my coordination was totally on.
Music is accessible, and the kind of music that we do is especially accessible. You know, you can make music with just your voices, just in a room with just you and a bunch of other people, and something beautiful can grow out of that. I think that's the most important thing that we want to get across this week.
We literally flew down singers from New York. I had people come in from Chicago and then Memphis. Having that type of team, I feel super solid in the talent that's coming here. So that already, I was really excited.
Votre toast, je peux vous le rendre, Seigneur, Seigneur, car avec les sonates, oui, les coréroles peuvent s'entendre, pour plaisir, on les comprend,
I want to expand what they think is possible in their life, to expose them to something outside of their sphere, to expose them to a different kind of music, to expose them to, even in their classes, the process of learning music in a different way.
I think the kids, they're starting to be curious about opera and singing and experiencing something new. I think their curiosity's peaked. Hopefully they'll come back prepared for tomorrow. Originally, this program was supposed to be the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th with performance on the 9th. Then we were told a couple weeks ago they're going to observe the 5th. And I was like, oh God, that takes away a day. So we have the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. So when we came in yesterday, they're like, well, the kids are going on a field trip. Like, so we have the 6th, 7th performance on the 8th. So literally we had to change what we were doing with the kids and really condense everything.
Ready?
There is a castle on the cloud. There is a castle on the cloud. I like to go there in my sleep. I like to go there in my sleep. Are any doors for me to sleep? Are any doors for me to sleep? Not in my castle on the cloud. Not in my castle on the cloud.
Now me and then you all, okay? I know a place where no one cries.
I know a place where no one cries.
Do you? Do you know a place where no one cries?
Yes, I do.
Younger, you know a place where no one cries?
I know a place where no one
Where?
cries.
In heaven, people don't cry. Good. The where?
The pet store.
The pet store. Oh, they don't cry? Dogs don't cry?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
They don't sweat.
There's a castle on a cloud.
There's a castle on a cloud.
I like to go there in my sleep.
I like to go there in my sleep.
Aren't any floors for me to sweep?
Aren't any floors for me to sweep?
Not in my castle on a cloud.
Not in my castle on a cloud.
I know a place where no one cries.
I know a place where no one cries.
Flying in the wall is not allowed.
Flying in all is not allowed.
Not in my castle on a cloud.
Not in my castle on a cloud.
Everything we do, we have to drive 30, 45 minutes. Just access to opportunities that many young people in other areas take for granted. But just being able to take a 5-minute drive and go to a ballet class or to gymnastics or to a movie, I think all of that is a part of the development of students when they can see beyond the cotton fields and the bean fields, and they can see a future beyond what they see in these little small towns, that there's a future beyond just hanging on the corner, you know. Because I really feel like if there was more to do, then you would see a decrease, you know, in the truancy and the vagrancy. There's just absolutely, there's nothing for young people to do as well as adults. If our young people just had equal access to those opportunities, I think you would see a tremendous change.
Art is inspired by what's around you. If you look outside and you see a tree, okay? You look outside, you see a tree. Who made that tree?
A seed and
A
water
seed.
in the ground.
The tree started from the seed, was planted in the soil, the tree grew up.
With
Okay?
rain and sunlight.
What I hope to accomplish is that the kids will remember the songs that we sing, and they'll remember the connection that the arts have to the earth, and that they'll take care of everything around them and consider how the arts are inspired and thrive when the environment thrives.
I know that the music sometimes they pretend like they are not listening, but these tones, you know, these tones, even you are ignored, but you will hear it. So I trust it, but it was a little bit tough situation, to be honest with you.
I have to say I felt a little deflated because the rug was pulled out from under me when they said, no, they're not going to be here Friday. I'm like, oh.
Knowing that they have to perform tomorrow. They were a little frightened by it at first yesterday, but compared to today, they're a lot more comfortable with the performing.
It will be a great opportunity for the kids to, you know, relate to performing and sharing music. But at the same time, our project was more about the experience.
I'm excited about the performance. I'm anxious. I'm looking forward to seeing the expressions on the kids' faces, and they're all excited as well because they're knowing that they have to perform.
I think this is something they are not normally do, so it's completely different. So good thing is that at least they are not nervous, but we'll see. I have no idea how it comes out.
We learn how to sing. We've learned like the different types of singing voices. We did drawing. We learned how to draw and learned how to sing. They can teach you just like how to sing like high notes and go like to low notes. I learned how to play piano.
Do you wish your normal school had music classes?
Yes.
My name is Jody Karam, and we're from an organization called Opera for Earth. We are here because we have been working for a couple days with some of you. We are going to be performing for you, and our participants are also going to be performing for you. So I would like to, at this time, invite the fifth graders down to sing their special song.
I hope their takeaway is, wow, we do have talent. We need more of this in our school district, and the kids are having fun.
I know a place where no one's lost. I know a place where no one's lost. I know a place.
I always tell my students, by music, you learn that you can really go beyond the limits of your body. Like, we're not born to play the piano, the violin, the flute. We're not born to sing. But with practice, you can do it. And as soon as you get comfortable with the process, well, you feel like you could learn potentially anything. You just need to practice.
I think it went exceptionally well. Everyone that performed was engaging, so it was a really good success. I think they enjoyed themselves.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.
Allo veri, che hai tu detto? Hai venuto e ben ti sta. Ah, per Dio! Voce di petto! Oh! Coretto, ascolta! Ah!
It's kind of like a fight scene, and then surprisingly, they were like communicate with this drama.
If there was a serious scene, you can hear the gasp in their voices from the stage, and so it was. I can tell that they were involved in what we were doing.
At some point, I looked up and I saw a few of them completely captured by what Jody and Simon were doing on stage, although they had no idea what was happening. But see, that's the power of beauty.
Many people say the music is a universal language. I mean, it doesn't matter you understand or not, you will feel it. So for that moment, I'm sure it will be something to them.
I had children sitting next to me asking me questions about if they were acting or what were they saying.
I noticed there were kids getting out their phones, filming every time, Jody had one of her big dramatic moments. And when you see that spark, when you get even one kid interested and wanting to know more, that's what makes it all worth it.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you. Try that. To my feet. That's better. Do this. Yes, that's your head lift. To my feet. To my
favorite memory was when I got JJ up in front of the class because she wasn't here the first day. So that girl had one day and she started singing, and you know what? She sang really well. She has a good voice, and she stood up there with me for probably 45 minutes and sang with me. I think that was my favorite memory. And also when I came in today, because I told the kids dress up, you know, look nice, we're gonna be wearing dresses. And I saw JJ in some nice red pants and a nice shirt, you know, so she had taken the time to dress nice because obviously she cared about what she was about to do. So that to me spoke very loudly.
I need all my 5th and 6th graders and 7th and 8th graders. Come on up. Come on, you guys. They worked so hard on this piece.
It's hard to sing in front of people, and they don't have any experience doing that, but they stepped up.
You could tell that their attitudes started to change, because in the very beginning when we first got here, it was pretty negative. There was a lot of bullying and shoving, and then towards the end it's like everybody really grouped together and they became a team.
They had nothing to compare us to, so we were just trying to get them more involved and have them have an open mind to a different genre other than the things that they were familiar with.
When you experience something you've never experienced, then you feel more comfortable maybe experiencing it again. Planting a seed is not enough to see the plant growing, you know what I mean? We need the weather to be good.
You know, if I affect just one kid, and one kid finds that this performance changed their mind and inspired them to find their passion, I would be one happy camper, because it only takes one kid then who can change a community.
Give them a big round of applause. Thank them for coming to take the time out to work with you guys and expose you to things that are different.
Music and the arts in general expands the mind. Music and the arts can tell you what's possible.
There are many other cultures, but always music was existed because music is something element communicate people to people, sending emotion.
Music is at its heart mathematical. The science of sound is integral to music and the relationships between notes.
Music is everything. At an early age, is effective to young children in their development, their educational development. It teaches them how to come together as an ensemble, as a group.
I have seen students who didn't do well academically, but once they were involved in a music program, something as simple as band, we would see them thrive in some of their other subject areas. So I think it's a very critical piece of the whole academic experience. We do not have enough offering for creative expression. That person with that outstanding voice or that person with that creative artistic ability, there are no avenues for that. So it's very valuable. It's just that we don't have the capacity, to offer it.
It will teach you so many things in life, even if you don't become a musician, but it'll teach you how to prepare for being an adult.
I have seen it myself in my own school. Having art and music included into the program has just overall changed my students. So if it can change my students, I know that it can change everywhere. They cope better. They have emotional support from the staff, because if a kid is having a bad day, they can come into my room and they can take all that and release it. And so I know for a fact that if every school had just a little bit of art, that it could go a long way.
There's that second where something happens. Might it be an instrument, a voice, or a harmony, or a smile on the face of the singer, or whatever, and that hooks you up forever. I was looking for even just one moment like that, and I think we got more than one.
So I contacted so many organizations in the beginning and sent them, the whole layout of what our goals were for the program. And having R&B, Fader, Charitable Foundation for the Bow Arts, having them respond, that was like a little light. Getting in and diving in, seeing the resources, or I should say lack of resources in the school, that was a little shocking. The state of Mississippi, they're not trying to bring any resources here. Why is that? You gotta ask yourself, how in the United States of America in 2021 do children not have the opportunity to experience music and visual art? Like, how is that possible?